Elan wartade. Sina mari jinnaji da faala mu nyinde. Maal mari jinnaji da faala yaltinde. Ko ya yaltinde fo. Mi mu nyini jinnaji andin bi mi woni duubi sappo.
Soul Diaspora, my first feature film. It's a story about a guy who's about to lose his mind.
And he finds himself in America, coming from a very disturbed background. It's like life has to start all over again. He's in isolation in his own mind, simply because his past is always, I mean, you can never ever run away from your past. For me, an sunnak hakkunde saare. Fi andingol e hollugol yimbe ko hombo mari doole. Hollugol be yimbe be faamondirali e hunde wotere. E kala fami walluɗoɓe joni lan suuɗi ɗo hakkunde sikke an ɗen e nder kereje nayi ka hakkil an. He's met these people, they're from the Middle East, but he doesn't see them as me. He just sees people that he can relate to.
Oh. Hey, Dad, I didn't hear you come in.
I wonder why.
Good morning, sir.
Sadiq, if you ever call me sir again, I'll fire you.
You just see human beings that, you know, me starting my life all over again, this is perfect. Maybe I can get a brother again. Maybe I can have a father again.
So I've always loved the idea of telling stories from just different cultural backgrounds. Growing up, all I watched initially was Nollywood films. I mean, just the kind of stories that were being told and brought up from there. I loved what was being told.
Why is it taking so long?
We got into the Pan-African and people responded to the film and then we won the audience award.
Thank you. Thank you, Pan-African. Really appreciate the love. Thank you very much.
One thing happened led to the other and we got to the AMA, which is the African Movie Academy Awards. There, we were nominated for 3 awards.
Hilandua yaltugol ɗo. Mi wawata fofude.
It's a story about a guy who's about to lose his mind. Technically, it's a Nigerian guy dealing with loneliness and how he goes through dealing with people, relationships, while keeping a secret about who he really is.
Excuse me. Excuse me. You're not open today.
Who are you?
My name is Sadiq. Do you hire?
Cool, man. My name is Risa. You met my dad last Friday. Sweet man, come on in.
It's also a story about a very tortured time in American history. It deals with a week before and a week after a certain circumstance around like 8 characters in Los Angeles at a given period of time.
Ilan ɗo kadi mi yewti ka suudu kadi min du peeji ɗen fof acci couleur ɓale e dane ɗo a yaltugo. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not just the prison of his mind, but the apartment that he's in is also a prison. And so in a way, I had to play with color. Black and white being mundane, being a place where we, the audience, directly relate to the fact that, we're now in his zone. And it somewhat becomes claustrophobic, which is what I also wanted.
He's just in isolation thinking that he has done a terrible thing in life to take away another human being's life. And now, how does he deal with that going forward? How does he establish relationships?
So, this is my new song, and you'll be the first person to hear it. So here it comes. It's a little rough, but at least you'll be able to hear what it sounds like. All right. Yo, I'm through very soon in my noon, just like Russell Spoon. I'll make you do things you don't want to do.
So you're going to inherit all this someday?
Yeah. No. This is not for me. I want to be a rapper.
You're not eligible to work in the States. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hire you for less than a regular wage. This way, I can pay you under the table, and you would not have to worry about cashing a paycheck.
I'd finished from the New York Film Academy. I had written this part that was somewhat difficult. I was going to play it myself. There's a film independent. I spoke to a very nice gentleman over there, and I said, you know, if I had this little amount of money, and I want to make a film on film, do you think I should do it? He's like, how much you have? I said, well, about 20,000. He's like, well, if you're stupid enough to do it on film, you should do it. And I'm like, all right, so I'm stupid enough, I'll do it on film. And then once I made that decision to do it on film, I just didn't feel, because shooting on film and the amount of time we had like 10 days to shoot. I just didn't want to have to be the problem on the set. You know, where I'm like, oh God, I forgot my lines or something. So the time was not enough, and I just figured, you know, this is something I just have to bite the bullet and just like have somebody else I could trust do it. Maybe I'm glad I didn't do it, you know, because it was like, it would have been a totally different movie. You know, I don't even think I'll be brave enough to do some of the things I wrote down to do.
There's a theater company not far from here called the Victory Theater. It's in Burbank. So I was working with this lady. I worked with her for like 3 years.
And so I went to the Victory Theater with a friend of mine, Jared, and he had introduced me like, I know this Nigerian dude. And I'm like, there's a Nigerian at Victory Theater. That's great. Let's I want to meet him.
One day I was just sitting down, and then all of a sudden, some dude walks in, shaking his head. And then he sat down. He didn't say anything.
So I go there, and he's not Nigerian, he's Sierra Leonean. I'm like, oh, Jared, there's a difference.
Nigerians, they're my people, you know. They're my people. I love Nigeria. And Sierra Leone and Nigeria, there's not even a difference. Because during the civil war in Sierra Leone, it's the Nigerians who came and helped Sierra Leoneans. You know, so Nigeria is like the big brother of Sierra Leone, you know, and there's a lot of intercultural or exchanges that goes on between Nigerians and Sierra Leone, West Africans in general.
You know what my mother said the first time I told her about you? You've always wanted an older brother, Risa. Now you have one.
Think of me as an older brother, Reza?
Yes, I do. I do.
When I see an African, it's like a brother, you know. I immediately embraced him, you know, and introduced us. But the first meeting wasn't that, you know, that smooth. We just looked at each other. Hi, how are you? I'm from Sierra Leone. I'm from Nigeria. Oh yeah, we're West Africans together. Okay, nice to meet you.
I mean, I did auditions. I auditioned. But like, there was not a person I could really see. Because I mean, I think luckily I was able to go to Victory Theater, you know, to see what, because there's a certain anger and there's a certain vulnerability I was trying to like go for that I wanted. And people who came to the audition were great, but he just had that rawness to him.
And then the second time we met, and then he told me, like, I'm a actor, but I'm really a director, you know. And apparently he liked you know, he's witnessed the class a few times, he's seen my work. He brought the first draft to me, we read it through, he went again and he worked on it. There was a time he just disappeared. I'm like, what happened? And like, well, you know, when I'm in my artistic mode, when I'm trying to create something, I like to like get away. I'm like, okay, let's see what you bring next time.
I kept writing and showing it to him and saying, hey, what do you think? And kind of worked on the character that way.
When we're finally able to get a final draft, it was just simply amazing. I couldn't put it down. And also the character was a character I can relate to a whole lot, you know?
He just kind of fell into it. So I just felt comfortable. Like, if I'm not going to play it, somebody else is going to play it. It's probably the best choice, you know? And he just went for it and took it and just ran with it.
I told him whatever I can do to make this project happen, I'm part of it. And that's what happened, you know. I got involved, and I'm so grateful that I was able to get involved the way I could, you know. I had the freedom to do whatever I want, you know. I had the ability to take it to whatever level I can.
Do you always punch walls with your arm?
You know, and I have to.
The funding now comes into play, which is like credit cards and bills. Try to figure out, you know, if you're gonna eat 3 times a day, you cut it down to 2 times a day or 1 time a day. and save that money for like something else to pay for film. And so I did that. And luckily enough, I got crew members who were serious about making a film with like, you know, no money. You know, people talk about low budget films. This is not a low budget film, it's a no budget film. It was one of those things where if you don't have a drive, a passion, and you don't enjoy what you're doing, this is not the best place to want to be.
This is very nice.
It is. I do this to get away from everything else. It's like my own special therapy.
The first preparation I did was not shave for almost a year. But it was just more like trying to get into the character.
I didn't think that far into him being Sierra Leonean. It takes a strong actor to kind of like just let go of that inhibition, you know, just like let go of everything and say, you know, I'm just gonna jump into it and do it. Like, you know, the scenes where he cuts himself just as a means to feel pain again, just because he feels like he's losing that idea of what pain feels like from hiding here so long. Things like that, just in his own memory, in his own mindset, you know, that was very difficult to play. I think was captured beautifully by Abu.
Si en daari ɓaawreen ɗum ko honɗum yiyete. Si en daari e jemma on ko hay gooto annda. Jemma on wonta e barke. Honɗum woni riengon sengo ɗum.
First time I got interviewed was right before the Pan-African Film Festival. And so it was one of those things where it was just an opportunity to say, hey guys, you know, there's a film called Soul Diaspora, you gotta see when it comes out at the Pan-African, go see it. And now we got into the Pan-African and people responded to the film and then it won the audience award.
I would like to present the audience favorite award, narrative feature, Soul Diaspora.
And then one thing happened, led to the other, and we got to the AMA, which is the African Movie Academy Awards. We were nominated for 3 awards: Sound, Best Film by a Filmmaking Diaspora, and Best Actor for Sadiq Abu. And we took home the Best Film in Diaspora.
Make Allah protect una. I miss una. I love una.
I'm from a place where movie making is out of a necessity. It's not like a luxurious part of thing. It's not, people are not doing a lot to make money, and it's out of a dire need to tell a story. You know, and that came with me when I first moved here. Going back to making a movie for $20,000, I don't think I want to do it again. but I don't think it was, I think this was the best place I could have started out, because I'm Nigerian, I came from Nollywood, and it's just almost like this is what I give in regards to watching all that Nollywood movies and just having the belief that I could make a movie with no money.
Panasonic is the official camera of the Africa Channel.